4:17 a.m. Caribbean Sea, 16 miles north of La Orchilla Island. 3 RHIB assault boats sliced through black water at 22 knots. On board, 12 Marines from the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit. Photographic reconnaissance mission. Objective: confirm the presence of Iranian PACAP. 3 missile boats in Venezuelan territory. They'd spent 47 minutes documenting the military port at Antonio Diaz Naval Air Base. 4 Iranian boats visible at the docks. Nasser anti-ship missiles mounted on deck. The intelligence was accurate. Lieutenant Commander Marcus Webb reviewed the images. Enough material. He ordered a return to the USS Baton. Then the radar operator said 2 words that changed everything. Multiple contacts. 3 Guaycari-class patrol boats emerged from the darkness at 31 knots, 2,300 tons each, 76mm cannons aimed, spotlights activated. The Marines were blinded. A voice in Spanish ordered them to stop or they would open fire. Webb did the math in 3 seconds. 3 RHIB boats against 3 patrol ships with naval artillery. His men would be dead in 40 seconds. He made the hardest decision of his career. He ordered weapons down. At 4:31, 12 American Marines were captured in international waters. 6 hours later, Diosdado Cabello appeared on television showing the 12 Marines on their knees. He accused them of being CIA mercenaries. He demanded the United States withdraw its fleet within 12 hours, or they would be executed. Venezuela thought it had won, but Maduro made 3 catastrophic mistakes. First, the USS Gerald R. Ford was 480 kilometers away, with 75 fighters ready. Second, 24 DevGru operators already had the green light. Third, Venezuela would send 11 vessels to prevent the extraction. 11 vessels that would never return to port. What happened over the next 8 hours became the greatest military humiliation Venezuela had suffered since independence. 12 Marines captured, 12 Marines rescued, 68 Venezuelans dead. 8 vessels at the bottom of the Caribbean. 1 general executed in his own residence. This is that story. Major General Hector Ramirez Vega had commanded the Francisco de Miranda Island territory for 15 years. 15 years forgotten. When he was informed that his patrol boats had captured 12 Marines with photographs of Iranian boats that officially didn't exist, he saw his chance to make history. He called Diosdado Cabello directly. One instruction: get them ready for the cameras. 10:30 in the morning, national broadcast. Cabello in military uniform. Behind him, the 12 Marines on their knees, hands tied, dirty uniforms. 11 minutes of accusations. Planning Maduro's assassination. Military espionage. The ultimatum was clear: 12 hours or execution. At 10:43, the Pentagon went into crisis mode. At 10:51, the President activated Joint Special Operations Command. At 11:02, 24 DEVGRU operators received the green light. They had less than 12 hours to assault a fortified island defended by 240 soldiers. If this video's got you hooked, hit like right now and subscribe. This is just getting started. 9:47 p.m. New moon. Total darkness. 2 SDV mini-submarines detached from the USS Stockdale. 24 DevGru operators. HK-416 rifles with suppressors. 4th generation night vision. 90 pounds of gear each. 8 miles of swimming to La Orchilla. 11:05 p.m. They emerged at a rocky cove on the north side of the island. And then they discovered something that nearly destroyed the mission. 11:31. Alpha Team reached the detention compound. The team leader, call sign Snake 1, observed through thermal binoculars. The compound was empty. 4 guards where there should have been 40. He requested an intelligence update. Response in 90 seconds. The Marines had been moved to the presidential residence at the southern tip of the island. General Ramirez was using them as human shields. New distance, 3.2 kilometers. Time until dawn, 47 minutes. All 24 operators advanced at maximum speed. 11:52. 700 meters from the residence. Bravo team was moving through the vegetation when the point man raised his fist. Everyone froze. 2 Venezuelan guards were patrolling the path 40 meters away, speaking quietly, rifles hanging from their shoulders. The SEALs melted into the shadows, controlled breathing, zero movement. The guards passed within 15 meters without detecting them. They continued north. Bravo team resumed the advance. 11:52 and 15 seconds. 300 meters from the residence, a Venezuelan guard stepped out for a smoke. He walked toward the darkness, directly toward Bravo team. At 30 meters, he stopped. Something wasn't right. He reached for his rifle. He never got it up. A suppressed round went through his skull. .556 caliber, 180 meters out. The guard fell face first. But his radio was open. The thud traveled to the communications center. 3 seconds later, alarms across La Orquilla started blaring. If you want more videos like this, subscribe and hit the bell. This took me weeks of research. 11:52 and 30 seconds. The island woke up. Spotlights switching on, soldiers pouring out of barracks, vehicles starting. Stealth was over. But the SEALs didn't stop. They accelerated. Violence of action. When you lose stealth, you compensate with speed and overwhelming aggression. 11:54. Alpha Team assaulted the communications center, breaching charges on the doors. The detonation ripped the door off its hinges. 4 guards tried to react but went down in less than 6 seconds. La Orquilla lost contact with Caracas, but it was too late. A message had gotten out. The naval commander in La Guaira knew an attack was underway. 11:55. Bravo team reached the residence. 18 guards in defensive positions. Crossfire from 3 directions. Flashbangs through the windows. 2 SEALs flanked from the east. A Venezuelan guard poked his head out and took a .762 round to the forehead. Another tried to run inside and 3 shots caught him in the back. 11:55 and 40 seconds. 200 miles north, the Stockdale's radar detected movement. 11 vessels leaving La Guaira at maximum speed. 8 pay cap. 3 boats with anti-ship missiles. 3 Guaycari patrol ships with artillery. Venezuela had sent everything that floated. 11:56. General Ramirez heard the explosions. He grabbed his radio. He gave the order that would condemn him. Execute the prisoners. If the United States wanted their Marines, they'd get them in body bags. 11:56 and 15 seconds. Detention room. A Venezuelan soldier raised his rifle at the 12 handcuffed Marines, finger on the trigger. Then, his head exploded and skull fragments splattered the wall. A SEAL sniper 200 meters out had taken the shot through a 6-inch window. The soldier next to him spun looking for the source and took the second round to the temple. 11:57. The SEALs entered the residence. Room-by-room combat. First door. Breaching charge. Detonation. 2 operators crossed the threshold firing. 2 guards went down before raising their weapons. Second door. A guard fired first. The round hit a SEAL's vest hard enough to knock him back 2 steps. The operator grunted from the pain but didn't go down. He responded with 3 shots that caught the guard in the chest. Third door. 2 guards barricaded inside opened automatic fire. Rounds tore chunks of plaster from the wall. A SEAL tossed a frag grenade. The detonation silenced the gunfire. Fourth door. A Venezuelan sergeant lunged at the first operator from behind a wardrobe. Hand-to-hand combat. The Venezuelan tried to drive a knife into his neck. The SEAL blocked with his forearm and felt the blade slice his sleeve. He twisted the attacker's wrist with a brutal motion. The crack of bone was audible. The sergeant screamed and dropped the knife. A rifle butt to the jaw knocked him unconscious. Fifth door. 2 guards and an officer. The guards raised their weapons. The officer tried to escape through a window. 4 shots. 2 guards dead. The officer took a round to the leg and fell screaming into the garden. 11:57 and 30 seconds. The Stockdale's captain requested authorization to intercept the Venezuelan vessels. Response from Central Command in 20 seconds. Weapons free. Protect the extraction at all costs. Simultaneously, 6 MH-60M Black Hawk helicopters lifted off from the destroyer. 4 F-35Bs from the Gerald R. Ford joined as escort. 11:59. A SEAL located the stairs to the basement. He descended with 2 operators for backup. Reinforced metal door, breaching charge. The detonation ripped the door from its frame. The operators entered firing. 2 guards went down with multiple rounds to the torso. The 12 Marines were against the back wall, handcuffed with chains to metal rings. 2 had faces swollen from beatings. 1 had dried blood on his forehead, but all were breathing, all conscious. Lieutenant Commander Webb recognized his rescuer's uniform. Navy SEALs. He smiled for the first time in 20 hours. 1200. Midnight exactly, 2nd floor. General Ramirez was trying to escape through a back window. A SEAL operator intercepted him in the hallway. The general drew his pistol. The SEAL was faster. 3 M17 rounds. Chest, neck. Ramirez fell backward. He died staring at the ceiling of his own residence, 40 feet from the prisoners he'd ordered executed. 1201. Snake 1 activated the transmitter. Package secure. 12 rabbits alive. Extraction in 3 minutes. 1202. The Venezuelan vessels were 47 miles out. The helicopters 12 minutes away. If the boats got there first, they'd shoot down the helicopters with Nazar missiles. The USS Stockdale wasn't gonna let that happen. 1203. Aegis system activated. 11 targets on screen closing at 42 knots. The captain gave the order. Fire. 1203 in 15 seconds. 4 RIM 66 Standard missiles launched from the vertical cells. Speed, Mach 3.5. First Guaycurí patrol ship. Impact on the bridge. The explosion decapitated the superstructure and instantly killed the captain and duty officers. Fuel ignited. The ship broke in 2. Second patrol ship. Impact at the waterline. Secondary detonation from the magazine. Fireball 130 feet high. 112 Venezuelan sailors in the water, most already dead. The survivors screamed as burning fuel seared their skin. 1205. The F-35Bs descended to 1,000 feet. Their systems identified the 8 PACAP boats trying to scatter. Venezuelan captains screamed contradictory orders over the radio. Some turned north, others east. Panic had replaced discipline. First pass. GBU-39 bombs. First boat. The captain saw the bomb falling in the last second of his life. Direct hit. The 50-foot craft disintegrated into a cloud of fiberglass. Second boat. Tried an evasive maneuver. The GPS-guided bomb corrected its trajectory. Impact at the stern. The engine flew 130 feet. Second pass. Third boat. The pilot pushed to maximum power trying to escape. It wasn't enough. The explosion caught him at 52 knots. Fourth boat was sailing alongside the third. The shockwave flipped it before its own bomb hit. 2 explosions 1 second apart. Third pass. Fifth boat. Crewmen were jumping into the water before impact. The bomb caught them in the air. Sixth boat. The explosion raised a 65-foot column of water. When it fell, only wood fragments and an empty life vest remained. 6 Iranian boats turned to wreckage in 40 seconds. 73 men killed instantly. 1207. Only 3 vessels remained. 1 patrol ship and 2 boats. Their captains saw the burning remains of their fleet, heard the survivors' screams over the radio. They turned south and fled toward La Guaira. The Stockdale's commander ordered ceasefire. The message had been sent. 1214. 6 MH-60M helicopters landed in the residence garden. Sporadic fire from Venezuelan positions. The Black Hawk door gunners responded with 7.62 miniguns. 1,000 rounds per minute. The walls of the auxiliary building disintegrated in a rain of concrete and dust. A Venezuelan sniper on the roof tried to aim at the first helicopter. A SEAL spotted him on thermal and fired before he could pull the trigger. The body fell 3 stories. Another soldier emerged with an RPG on his shoulder. Never completed the motion. 2 rounds to the torso threw him backward. The launcher hit the ground unfired. A group of 6 Venezuelan soldiers charged from the east wing trying to reach the helicopters. The door gunners swung the miniguns. 3 seconds of continuous fire. All 6 soldiers dropped before covering 20 meters. The 12 Marines boarded the helicopters with help from the SEALs. Some couldn't walk after hours in handcuffs. The operators carried them while others maintained covering fire. One last Venezuelan guard appeared at a window with a rifle. A SEAL sniper put one through his shoulder. He fell backward into the building. The 24 SEALs boarded the remaining helicopters. One operator limped from a round to the thigh. Another had blood on his forearm from shrapnel. Minor wounds. All alive, all extracting. 12:17. Venezuela attempted one last response. 4 F-16 fighters took off from Libertador Air Base in Barcelona, intercept course toward the helicopters. The Venezuelan pilots were brave. They were also suicidal. 12:19. The F-35Bs detected the F-16 seconds at 75 miles. Message on open frequency in Spanish. Turn around immediately or be shot down. No second warning. The F-16 seconds continued for 15 seconds. Then the warning systems in their cockpits started screaming, "Lock on." 4 AIM-120 missiles pointed at them. At 54 miles from the helicopters, all 4 F-16 seconds turned south. They returned to Barcelona without firing. 12:23. All American helicopters crossed into international airspace. Mission complete. 8 hours and 6 minutes after the capture, the 12 Marines were free. The consequences were catastrophic for Venezuela. Casualties in the ground, assault. 28 dead, including General Ramirez Vega. Casualties in the naval battle, 40 dead. Vessels destroyed. 6 PACAP 3 boats and 2 Guayqueri patrol ships. 30% of Venezuela's operational naval capacity sank in less than 24 minutes. American casualties, 0 dead. 3 minor injuries. Maduro appeared on television at 8 a.m., denied everything. There were never any captured Marines. Cabello's footage was a CIA fabrication. The sunken boats were a training accident. Nobody believed him. Satellite imagery showed the wreckage burning for 3 days. Cabello disappeared from television for 11 days. When he returned, he didn't mention the Marines, didn't mention La Orquilla, didn't mention General Ramirez. The American fleet didn't move 1 kilometer. Operation Southern Spear continued. Venezuela never captured American military personnel again. The 12 Marines returned to their families. The 24 SEALs received classified decorations that will never be made public. Anonymous heroes who risked everything to bring their countrymen home. But the consequences echoed far beyond Venezuela. In Tehran, Revolutionary Guard commanders watched as 6 of their PACAP 3 boats, marketed as destroyer killers, were vaporized in under a minute. The world saw exactly what Iran's asymmetric response was worth. 6 fireballs in the Caribbean, propaganda sinking alongside the steel. In Beijing, People's Army analysts studied every second of the operation. China has been planning an invasion of Taiwan for decades. Their strategy depends on fast boats and saturating defenses. La Orquilla proved that a single Aegis destroyer and 4 fifth-generation fighters annihilated 11 vessels in 24 minutes. If Venezuela lost 30% of its fleet in half an hour, how much would China lose crossing the Taiwan Strait? Russia issued no statement. Moscow had been selling equipment to Venezuela for years, promised the Bolivarian Navy could defend its coasts. That night proved they couldn't defend a thing. Russia's silence was more eloquent than any declaration. Across Latin America, Maduro's allies took note. Cuba, Nicaragua, Bolivia, all saw what happens when you capture American military personnel. There's no negotiation. There's 24 operators entering your territory while your fleet burns on the horizon. 4:17 a.m. Venezuela captured 12 Marines to humiliate the United States. They wanted propaganda. They wanted the world to see American soldiers on their knees. 12:23 a.m. Those 12 Marines were flying home. The general who ordered their execution had 3 bullets in his body. 8 Venezuelan vessels burned in the Caribbean. 68 soldiers had paid with their lives for their leader's arrogance. 11 vessels sent to prevent the rescue. 8 sunk. 3 fleeing. 0 helicopters shot down. 0 Marines lost. Maduro wanted to send a message to Washington. Washington answered with 24 SEALs, 6 helicopters, 75 fighters, and an Aegis destroyer. Message received. We don't negotiate with those who take our Marines. We rescue them, and we destroy whoever gets in the way. Semper Fidelis, always faithful, de oppresso liber, to free the oppressed. 4:17 a.m. The capture meant to humiliate America. 12:23 a.m. The rescue that humiliated Venezuela. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. What other military confrontation do you want me to investigate? See you in the next one.